Welcome to the SNA Live podcast, hosted by Three the Hard Way. This is for the culture. Black and Latinx. Where you at?
What's good, cigar fam, and welcome to SNA Live, the podcast not just about cigars and cigar lounges, but life in general. Because if you're smoking cigars with your peoples in a nice lounge and only talking about cigars, then you missed the whole motherfucking point. We're recording as always from Smoking Ashes Cigars and Haberdashery, the newest, hottest cigar lounge in these United States, now seen on One Institution Media's platform, in addition to our usual platforms. With me as always are my partners in crime, Malik and Ryan. Say what's up to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's going on?
What's going on, world? Blessed to be here. Blessed to be here.
This is episode number 6. Damn, we're at number 6 already.
Yeah, we are.
Entitled 84. We're going to be talking about the best movies in 1984.
Oh, boy.
The best sports moments of 1984.
Oh, boy.
Music memories of 84. And we're having our segment, What You Rocking With, today, where we're going to talk about Malik, Ryan, and myself, whatever we're rocking with for this particular week, this particular day, this particular episode. And with that being said, as usual, cut your stick, light them up, and let's get it popping.
Welcome to SNA Live, a podcast like no other. Featuring Three the Hard Way. You want it, you got it. Yes, we are back, episode 6. We are going on a memory trip. We're going down the corridors of our mind when we was growing up, watching movies, listening to songs, and watching videos. So as you join us, it's a perfect time to grab your stick, grab your seat, grab your drink, and let's rock. I'll say it again, I've said it before. Something about that reverse that hits with the intro. I don't know, it's just different, man.
It's like peanut butter and jelly, yo.
Yes,
It just goes together.
Yes, it does.
Just
man.
goes together, yo. So, 1984, man. Like, we had said this in the previous episode number 5, entitled "The Three Mics." Check it out. We had talked about how United States' biggest export is culture, and the 80s, I think, cemented the culture of the United States. But 1984, for whatever reason, the gems, the jewels, the bangers that came out that year was unrivaled by any other year
Hands
in the
down.
80s and any other year period in the history of these United States.
And I think that came out when we were just talking one day here. We were just talking about the 80s.
Yeah.
And we started going off through the movies. And we said, wait a minute, when did these hit?
But that was 84.
So we started looking back, and you're like, wait a minute, 84. 84 is
Music,
iconic.
84.
Yeah. Orson Welles had something right. He knew something about 1984. It was crazy.
Yeah, definitely. But before we get into our topics, we gotta, as always, talk about what we drinking, what we smoking. So let's start with what we're drinking. And Leek, since you brought the bottle, I'm gonna let you tell the people what we're sipping on tonight.
Size don't matter.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Size does not matter.
Definitely not in this situation.
Not with this fucking situation.
Nah, man. Plenty of motion in the ocean with this one.
Plenty of it.
So this is the Widow Jane, aged 10 years, American oak barrel, 91 proof. This shit is hitting right now. Just to let you know. Just a little backstory. I had to look this up first time having it. It's founded by Daniel Preston, obviously based out of Kentucky. So a little story behind this, what I thought was interesting. So he has an office in Brooklyn.
Okay.
The reason why he has an office in New York is that the water that he uses from this is from the Widow Jane mines in Rosendale, New York. Have you ever heard of
Hell no.
Widow Jane mines?
That's real?
Yes, it's real.
Rosedale.
That's
is that Long Island?
Rosedale is in Long Island.
Yeah.
Really?
So much like New York pizza, it's all about the water.
It's all about exactly.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Okay.
And all the bottling and the proofing is done here in New York.
You learn something new every day.
Exactly.
Jane Mines, never heard of that.
The more you know.
By the way, he's the new host of Jeopardy, Reading Rainbow guy too.
Really?
LeVar Burton, yeah. Heard he got a spot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Shout out LeVar Burton.
Yeah, big ups there.
Reading Rainbow. Throwback.
People don't give him enough credit, man. Not
Also
off
80s.
topic. I'm sorry. It is also the 80s.
Yeah, Reading Rainbow.
I'm sorry to even cut into the drinking.
Wow.
Yeah.
But real talk, man, we always talk about like Mr. Rogers and everybody else. Nobody gives, I mean, LeVar,
Yeah.
we all grew up watching him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
crazy.
He needs some more respect.
I don't care how gangster you are. If you an 80s baby, don't front like you wasn't watching Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. Yeah, no, you definitely did though, man.
Classic show. But yeah,
This-
again, Widow Jane.
Hitting different.
It's definitely hitting. Has like hints of like apple and maybe like a little raisiny type of taste, but whatever. This is definitely hitting right now.
But that proof, man, it's also a hint of fucking
Smack in the mouth.
pimp slap.
Yeah, for real.
Little sips here, little sips.
What you smoking on, Rod?
I am smoking Black Star Line's Warwich.
Okay.
Black on.
Black owned company. Big shout out to Eric. This Warwich has a Connecticut shade wrapper, a Nicaraguan Criollo binder, and the fillers are from Jalapa and Esteli, Nicaragua as well.
Sir.
This is also rolled in the Aganorsa leaf company. They're the ones that put this together in the factory down there for Black Witch. I'm sorry, Black Star Line Warwich. Great smoke. It's my second time having it. I had one earlier in the summer when we had City Cigar Week here.
Okay.
Big shout out to one of our members, Colin, who put us on to.
Yes, because the owner is the Noops, as they call.
He's a Noops. Yep,
Yeah.
he's one of the Noop. That's right. So Colin put us on to
For
this.
those that don't know, that means
Thank
he
you.
is a Kappa.
Kappa.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Black sorority.
Correct.
Shout out all the HBCUs.
Correct. Big
Fraternity.
time. Yeah, fraternity.
Fraternity,
Not sorority. Facts.
You said sorority. Not
That's okay. It happens. Yeah, it happens.
My
It's
bad.
It's the
I told you
91
that Widow Jane slaps.
It
Yo,
does.
I thought I was playing.
Yo, it's very real. So yeah, no. Big up to the Eric and this fantastic stick, and the company does well with us here. We have it down here on 200 Warwaven Drive, Teaneck, New Jersey.
07666. Holla at your boys.
Shameless plug. So that's what I'm smoking. Bleak, what are you smoking on?
So I went with this Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder. Now, if you want something with some punch, this right here,
Shit
right here?
This
Right here, nigga?
for real. So the Lancero is actually even stronger than this, but this is the Toro. Still a really good smoke. Again, Southern Draw. They are based out of Austin, Texas.
Okay.
They have a lot of different faces, but this is probably the best one. I definitely enjoy this. This has, obviously, I'm a Connecticut broadleaf. This actually has a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper.
And double dipping.
Yeah, definitely. Ecuadorian Maduro binder and Ligeros from Esteli.
Plus there's some Ligero in there. Okay.
Some Ligero, definitely. I think it's double Ligero.
That's what makes all right. So that's what makes it notable.
Yeah, definitely. But shout out to Southern Draw, very small boutique company, but they put out a lot of quality. So, yeah.
That's what we have here again at 200 Warwaven Drive, Teaneck, New Jersey.
07666.
A lot of small bats. Shameless plug. So Conway, what are you?
Yeah, what the hell is that? No, I'm
What are
just
you
playing.
partaking?
That looks a little different. I've never seen.
So, Rod, shout out to you, man. Like you gave me this like about a week ago.
Yeah.
So it's called a culebra.
Put that in the camera so that everybody
So
can see
yeah,
that.
just so you understand the complexity of what I'm smoking. It's 3 cigars wrapped up into one. So it's Maduro with
Like a Habano leaf.
A
They
Habano
said they
leaf,
did like
exactly.
a barber pole.
Yeah.
So it's like a double dip. They did a barber pole wrap on the Lancero that turned it into a culebra.
culebra, exactly.
And
So much like, I don't know, man, I be smoking like on the low shit. So last episode, I couldn't give you the breakdown in terms of buying the wrapper filler because it's a new company. They didn't have a website. So this particular cigar that I'm smoking, by Fabrica de Cigar, it's Nicaraguan in binder wrapper filler. So I can give you a breakdown in terms of like the
region.
the region exactly where it comes from. But I can't give you much more because we have exclusive shit
That's
where
correct.
people hit us off with gems, and or as Asa, God bless the dead, said, we got candy. We got candy here, yo. So it looks crazy, but yo, it is. I've taken like 4 pulls since we fucking lit up. This shit is
It's different, right?
Yo, smooth, flavorful.
And that's why I wanted you to have that one. When she gave it to me, I was like, yo, this is the
Yo.
one. I'm gonna give this one to you. Definitely.
Now, I'm gonna be sitting here for a minute with this.
Yeah.
Even after we're done recording, I'm still gonna be sitting here
Absolutely.
smoking because it's 3 cigars wrapped into one. But definitely hitting. So, with that being said, man, we have to jump right into our topics. We only have a half hour. So, best movies in 1984.
Jeez.
So we talked about it before. 84, just music, movies, sports, everything was just crazy that particular year. So, Leek, I'm gonna let you set it off. What was your movie for 1984? So when you think of that year?
This was definitely hard because I was 6 years old at the time. Obviously, at 6 years old, all you're doing is watching TV, going outside, playing sports, come back in, watch movies all freaking day and night. So I had to go with one of my favorites. I guess because at the time I was 6 years old, I had just got into martial arts, and then The Karate Kid came out, and Daniel-san came out. That movie, to me, I must have seen that movie at least 30, 40 times.
Sweep the leg.
A number of times.
You have a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence?
Put him in a body
body
bag,
bag, Johnny.
Yeah. So Karate Kid is a classic to me. Definitely Mr. Miyagi. You know, when he did the
All three of them too.
yeah, definitely. Actually, the third one was in.
Third one was suspect.
Yeah, it was a little suspect. Second one was good. Second one was when they went to Japan.
Taiwan.
Taiwan, I'm sorry.
No, it was Japan. It was
What's
Osaka.
Japan? Osaka. It was
Yeah,
Osaka.
Japan. It's Japan. Yeah.
Yeah. So, classic movie to me. Everybody, you can be from the hood, from the suburbs, wherever. You had to.
Two
you
was
had to-
dope though.
Two was dope. I liked it. I definitely I like the storyline around it. But
Can't forget Danny LaRusso with the knee injury.
and then the invisible heated hands that
Yep,
all of a sudden was like
The
a
magic
miracle.
hand wrap. Big shout out to early gamers in the 80s playing Karate Kid on Nintendo, trying to catch the flies with chopsticks.
Wow. You brought it back with
Yeah,
that one.
you
I
remember
forgot
that, though.
Yeah.
And then they had him in the typhoon.
Yeah.
Classic movie.
You stole
Classic
with that.
But
I had to do a notable mention.
I was about to
though,
ask
just
you because how it's not easy to pick
it's
one.
not 84. It was just too many classics.
So what's
but
your honorable mention then?
I went with Purple Rain.
Iconic.
I gotta support the light skinned dudes
Iconic. It
Of course you do.
I'm absolutely.
and Apollonia. You know.
Yo.
All right,
Yo.
we're gonna go way over time. We started with that one.
But yeah, that Purple Rain was definitely a classic. Definitely a classic. What about you, Colin?
I'm gonna go with Beverly Hills Motherfucking Cop.
I was gonna go with that one too, but yeah,
It's hard.
Yo,
it's a
I
lot
love
to
that
choose
movie. Yo.
from.
Now all of those were great movies. All of Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Like,
All of them.
but that one there in particular,
the first one though,
set him off.
It definitely did. It
Yeah.
definitely did. So his first movie in the 80s, I want to say it was 48 Hours, but what cemented him as a megastar, not just a movie star, a megastar,
Yeah.
was Beverly Hills Cop. Yo, the one-liners that he had in that fucking movie. Yo, the scene in the strip club. The scene when he got tossed out a fucking window. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, the fuck, yo, how am I getting arrested? I got tossed out a motherfucking
Fucking window,
window.
yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Then when my man was locked up in jail, and the officer was like, yo, come here. And he was like, yo, I just ordered a pizza. Yo, can I stay for a little while?
Wasn't he singing his song in the cell?
Nah, no, you thinking of 48
That was 48
hours.
hours.
yo.
That's
40 hours.
Yeah,
Right, I'm
yeah,
getting thrown
yeah,
off.
yeah,
What year
yeah.
did that come out?
That was like 82, 81, somewhere around
He
there.
made his bread in the 80s, big
Yeah.
time. I mean, he
No.
cemented money later on.
no,
but the 80s,
the
were
80s, yeah. Like I said,
Okay.
megastar. And I have my honorable mention. I didn't tell y'all this about this beforehand because I wanted to
Okay.
surprise y'all. Indiana Jones and the motherfucking Temple of Doom.
Yo,
You were watching that the other day, weren't you?
was.
dude, yo, big shout out to Paramount because every 2 weeks they
Yeah,
show
yeah.
either The Godfather or Indiana Jones
exactly.
all day long.
But here's the thing. Much like The Godfather, when you look back at it as an adult, yo, Indiana Jones was racist as fuck. Yo.
What?
Yo, the way they depicted the people of
in
India
India, yeah, definitely.
in that fucking movie, I just was like, damn. Yo,
your heart, Indy.
but,
Cover your
but,
heart.
Yeah,
but
that was
but you were a kid watching it, so it was an action adventure movie. It was just cool. But then as you get older and realize the implications and the depictions of people in these particular movies, you're just like,
made them-
damn.
they made
And
them
in
look
Temple
like
of Doom,
savages.
they made him look real,
made him
especially
look
when they had
crazy.
the shots in the town.
The shots in the town, not only that, the dining scene.
That's okay.
When they went to
Yes.
the palace and they were like, okay, now you're gonna have Indian cuisine. They brought out bugs, they brought out snakes,
Chimpanzees,
and then what was for dinner?
brain.
Chilled monkey brains.
Yeah, monkey brain, yep.
And the Willie was the girl's name. She just was like, yo, can I just get something normal like soup? And they brought her soup, and it was eyeballs in the soup.
Yeah, it was like
and it was just
straight-
like, yo,
straight animalistic.
exactly. They made them look like savages. Yo, if anybody that has been to India or lives in a metropolitan area where you have true Indian cuisine, Indian food is slamming. I've never been to an Indian restaurant and seen monkey brains or bugs or snakes or eyeballs in a fucking soup. So even though I'm still, as a kid, love that fucking movie,
Yeah.
the way they depicted them was fucking horrible, yo. But yo,
When you look back at it, definitely.
exactly. Rock, 84, hit us, movie. Let's go.
This one was tough.
Yeah.
It's always tough.
They were all tough.
Yeah.
Because like what's crazy is you guys all spoke about 4 movies that hit different. So I went definitely with Lil Left because of the imprint that this movie left on me. This was probably the first horror movie I saw as a child. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
Before Freddy was
Before he became
comedic.
before he became like a sideshow,
Yeah.
like
because
another clown.
but real talk, Freddy's one-liners were funny.
Yeah, they were. But you weren't as afraid in part 2, 3, 4, 5, and however many they made. Part 1,
Yeah.
He was scary as shit.
Sleepless nights.
He was
hell
scary
yeah.
as shit. The
Sure.
iconic scene with the glove coming out the tub.
Tub, yeah.
And then
yeah.
actually the opening scene with homeboy from La Bamba. Wasn't Homeboy's name? Not
No, Johnny Depp was in that movie.
is it Johnny Depp who got killed in the beginning?
Yeah, in
so
the
it was
bed.
Johnny Depp
Yeah,
that got killed.
that was
That's
Johnny
right.
Depp.
Damn,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that part.
Yeah,
Dude
that
has
was
a
Johnny
memory
Depp.
like
Yeah,
an
he's an elephant brain. So that scene there had basically 2 teenagers fucking around in a cabin, right? If I'm not mistaken, they were in a cabin, and basically, Johnny Depp ended up getting stabbed the fuck up, dragged all across the ceiling,
Yeah.
all over. Who saw something like that before?
And then us at 5, 6, and 7
Yeah,
years
looking
old.
like what the fuck?
this?
What is
Having
this?
no business watching that movie.
at all,
Exactly.
at all.
That's the thing about 80s babies. It could have been a rated R movie, but we were still watching.
Exactly.
And I will say this, man,
Grew up
I never
fast.
ever wanted to go to anywhere that was named Elm as a kid afterwards.
We had Elm
Shout
Street.
out YO.
Yeah, we
Elm
had
Street.
There
Elm
was
Street.
one, but there was
And-
one everywhere though.
And you didn't want to go to Elm Street.
Nah.
See, there too, scary movies
Because you would get stabbed up in a different way, though.
by a different Freddy.
Frederico.
Facts, man. But listen, man, it was tough for me to go with Nightmare on Elm Street, but like for its iconic stage that it's set for, like horror
iconic
movies,
character, yeah.
and the iconic character in Freddy Krueger. My other notable mention was also a blockbuster hit that you might not think it was right now, but please listen deep. Ghostbusters was not just like a hit movie; it was a blockbuster hit.
Oh, no,
It
definitely.
was. It
Definitely.
was.
The characters-
And a classic New York City movie.
To the
It
T.
showed New York City.
Yeah.
To the T.
Yeah, man. Like classic New York movie. Even down to the mayor.
Facts. Not giving
you know
a fuck.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
facts.
The mayor was gangster as fuck
Yes,
in
he
that
was.
movie, yo. Fucked with the mayor, yo.
Ghostbusters was a very big hit for the
No,
80s.
huge.
So I mean, that was a tough one, and there's many more that came
Yeah,
out. And
yeah.
we can't even name it. Like
Nah,
Police
that-
Academy.
'cause we'll be here
We'll
forever.
be here forever, man. There's so many
We
hits,
will.
but those two were that was me right there.
So let's jump into sports, and I'm gonna set it off. Sports moments in 1984. I'm gonna set it off with the 1984 NBA draft. So the NBA became what it was because of its stars.
Yes.
And David Stern very early on understood that you have to market the stars.
Yep.
And he just so happened to come in at an era where the star among stars came in during that year.
That draft,
and that was
yes.
Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Big ups there.
So
And he wasn't number one.
no. I'm balling for real, y'all motherfuckers are Sam Bowie. Sam Bowie was number one. No, absolutely no. Akeem Olajuwon was number one. Sam Bowie was number 2 to the Portland Trailblazers because they already had Clyde Drexler. And I always look back on it. Look, I'm not a fucking GM, but Clyde Drexler could have played the 3 spot at small forward.
Imagine-
You could have had
imagine
Michael
what that
Jordan
would've
at the 2.
Yeah.
It'd have been a wrap. The Trailblazers would have had like a fucking run like the Celtics
Dynasty.
in the
They had
fucking
a
50s
dynasty,
with Bill
yeah.
Russell.
Who were the other classic, other Hall of Famers that came out of that draft?
So you had Olajuwon at 1, you had Michael Jordan at 3. You had Charles Barkley, I think at 5.
Yep.
You had Chris Mullen later on in that
Yeah,
draft.
wow, Mullen,
like,
yep.
like that draft was insane.
That draft cemented
That cemented the league.
the NBA.
Yeah.
Because you had, look, Magic and Larry was still in their prime, but the NBA is always thinking about the next star. So when Jordan, Barkley, Malone was the next year. I'm sorry, Malone was
He
85.
came out with Ewing.
Ewing, exactly. But you had Olajuwon, Mullen, Barkley, a lot of the players from the Dream Team in the Olympics. Like 3 or 4 of them came from that 84 draft
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
So they were set because you had all these stars that like, okay, when Magic and Bird get old, these dudes will still just be getting into their prime.
In their prime.
Exactly. So, Leak, best sport moment, 84.
So I went a little left with this, and this is probably something a lot of people don't even remember. To be honest, I didn't remember. Obviously, I was probably a little too young when it came out. I realized it years later. But the Soviet Olympics.
Yeah, that
when
was
the
big.
U.S. won 83 freaking gold medals.
The gold rush.
Straight gold rush. I mean, obviously there was reasons for it because I think it was about another 11 countries decided that
they
boycotted.
didn't go,
They boycotted and didn't go. But that was definitely an epic moment for our country in the Olympics. There's a lot of politics that was involved in that, but that was definitely a big moment. A lot of people don't remember it, but again, 3 gold medals
In 84.
Yeah, that's silly.
That's crazy.
83 and 84.
Yeah, definitely.
No, the gold rush was crazy. They won everything.
Yeah, that was
And whatever category was, they were winning.
Yeah, definitely. What about
Rob,
you,
what
man?
about you, man?
So I'm not even gonna stay long on this topic because there's nothing to say. When you, especially being a young gamer for me,
Yeah.
because I remember playing like the Lakers and Celtics. You named earlier, like
Yeah.
the Blazers versus the Bulls. That was
Yeah.
the iconic Genesis Sega games that were
Yeah.
coming out. 84 for me was a chip between the Lakers and the Boston Celtics.
That was
Magic
serious.
versus Bird.
Magic versus Bird.
They was fucking each
Are
other.
we not
up.
talking about the Nori song?
They was
Facts.
But do you remember they was fucking each other?
So
up in
that's
that
what made it
series,
so
dude.
iconic for me.
Yo.
And that's where I started falling in love with basketball
Yeah.
because I didn't realize how a game that's so fast that could, consists of so many moving parts could also be so physical back in the day.
Couldn't be soft back in the day.
Could not be soft because basketball, making a shot, there's some etiquette to it. You have to have, a soft touch to it. But these guys is elbowing a dude in the teeth and then go fading away for 17-footer like it's nothing.
And then just run right back.
Run
up the
right
court.
back up to do it again. 84 between Magic and Bird, watching that iconic exchange between the respect level between the two guys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because they would always give each other daps before and after the game, but they
Yeah.
would go hard in between the minutes.
Because they
And talk
understood.
shit.
They definitely talk shit, but because they understood that at its core, the only rival I really have in this league, in terms of talent-wise, is the dude across the court
Facts.
from me right now.
Facts.
Magic felt that way about Bird, and Bird felt that way about
Facts,
Magic.
big facts, man. So that was that for me, man. And that started my love for basketball, to be honest with you.
Wow, okay.
That series there.
Speaking about love, Ryan, 84, music, your memory.
Oh boy, that
What
was a nice segue.
What we talking? Oh, that was a beautiful segue.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
if life was a dream, it was that segue right there. So for me, my 84 music moment has to be Tina Turner. What's Love Got to Do With It?
Wow, classic. Right there.
Shot in New York too. The video.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I didn't
yes,
know
it
that.
was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, it
she had the
was.
jean jacket on.
Yes, she
yeah,
did.
Nice.
Iconic. Her
Like
voice.
you just, it didn't have to say it was shot in New York. You just know the parks in New York.
Facts.
'Cause she was walking alongside like the fence of like I don't even know what borough she was in, but you know how our parks
Yeah,
look.
they definitely different. Definitely.
Yeah, they stand out. They definitely stand out. The same way that her vocals stood out.
Yeah.
The same way everything hit because it was the perfect 80s beat, everything.
Yeah.
But her pain in that song too was serious. So Tina Turner was definitely.
Yo, what's crazy is everybody has seen the movie, right? With Larry Fishburne, Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett and Larry Fishburne should have both won a fucking Oscar for
Yeah,
that
they
movie, by
should've,
the way.
sure.
But I thought, because Larry Fishburne's a big dude. He's not small.
No, he's not.
And Angela Bassett, Tina Turner in real life is diesel as fuck.
Yes, she is.
So growing up,
Yeah.
after seeing that movie,
They played that role.
I didn't
perfect.
know what Ike Turner really looked like. So I'm thinking he's like a big dude like Larry Fishburne. Yo, Ike Turner was like a cool 5'6",
And he was
100 and what?
skinny.
like a $145.
Soaking wet.
And I'm just not to say, look, he's still a man at the end of the day.
Yes, absolutely.
But you know how at the end of the movie where she whips his ass?
Yeah.
Like I can see that
You
really
see it, yeah.
happening.
Yes.
Because I'm just like, yo.
And
Tina
more
Turner was
brutal.
diesel.
Yeah.
More brutal too.
Because it's more mental. Like when you're abusing somebody like that, there's the physical aspect obviously, but it's more mental and psychological. And it wasn't until that last, ass whooping that she put on him that she realized, you know what, fuck you. I'm worth more than you. This whole Ike and Tina thing, it's really just about
It's
Tina.
Tina, yeah.
I don't really need you. And I'm gonna go bigger and better than
She
you
realized.
ever even imagined.
She realized.
That was a
And just to
great
show you how tough this was, man, I did have a tough one for me. The other one,
Okay.
Stevie Wonder.
One of the last of the greats, man. Prince is dead. Michael Jackson is dead.
Yeah, he's still here.
James Brown is dead.
No, you just say
Yo,
he's
Rick James is dead.
Wait a minute.
Stevie's still around.
He is. Yeah, he's still here.
He's like the last of the greats.
He just said he's leaving the country. Though, so.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, even Stevie can see what the fuck's going on in this country.
Oh shit! But the song of my choice was "I Just Called to Say I Love You."
Yeah, that was the shit.
That can get played anywhere.
Yeah,
All times, anywhere. So that was tough. But again, just to show you the value of, the quality of stuff that was coming out in '84.
Facts.
So I'm done. Malik, please share with the world.
I'm gonna be very quick. I'm sticking with my light-skinned brother again. Purple Rain. Baby.
Again.
Purple Rain.
Yeah, you mad racist, son.
Yeah, I gotta stick up for my purple. Y'all be hating on us.
I'll give Malik
I'll give
him a shot. Right there.
Yeah, come on. Classic movie.
First of all, this was your whole fucking decade. Dark-skinned motherfuckers didn't get no love until the 90s when Denzel and Wesley brought us back.
That is true.
We was killing. But yo,
Even though Eddie wasn't light either, though.
No, Eddie was black to the motherfucker. Like, according to Rick James, he was the darkest motherfucker he had ever seen.
Darkness.
But Purple Rain obviously is a classic movie. When that came out, it changed a lot of shit. And then the soundtrack and just everything was hitting with that movie. So great movie. My honorable mention was a little hard. Had to think about that, but I went a little left, and it was more of a moment, not so much the music.
Okay.
Do y'all know that's 84 is when Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire in that Pepsi commercial?
Oh, so you went left. Okay.
I went left.
Yeah, that was the Pepsi commercial.
Because it was memorable. It was a memorable moment.
Music moment.
It was a musician.
MJ was huge at that time. He was big, and his freaking hair caught on fire. So I had to go with it.
And that's what led to his future with getting surgery, plastic surgery, and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's probably what changed his.
Lesson learned: stay away from Jerry curls.
With pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics. Yeah.
Like, come on,
the two
you
don't go
soak
together.
your head in some alcohol, man. Anyway.
Put the soul glow down.
Soul glow. So now, Conway, what was your memorable one?
So I'm gonna go with the album Diamond Life, Sade.
Group Sade.
So thank you. Because a lot of people,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, people were like, oh, Sade, that's just a woman. Yes, her name is Sade.
Mm-hmm.
She was born and raised in London, but her family, I think, is from Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. But the group was actually called Sade. So it was her, it was the background singers, there was the musicians, the drums, piano, sax, whatever. So that particular album, Smooth Operator, Love Is a Crime, like there was so many joints. Like I still to this day
play that straight through.
I can listen to that album straight through.
Yeah.
Obviously, Best of Sade, I play straight through, but
I do that every Sunday.
A majority of those
Sade
songs
Sundays.
was from that album, Diamond Life, and it just so encapsulated just like a different type of 80s feel. It was that smooth, sexy saxophone
Yeah, it
feel.
was.
You know what I'm saying? We were talking about this off air.
Yeah, we did.
I was saying about
the two iconic instruments
at
during
the
the
time.
80s.
Electric
One was
guitar
and
saxophone.
It definitely was.
So
Hands
I
down.
got an honorable mention though. Once again, didn't mention it before we got on, so I can be spontaneous with it. The Glamour Life, Sheila E.
Okay.
So I watched a little bio joint on her. I think it was what was it called? They do it on like I can't remember what channel it's on, but it's called Unsung. Where they document like certain artists that don't get their shine.
Okay.
And they did Sheila E. So number one, didn't know she was out of Cali.
Didn't know that.
Number two, I knew she was a drummer, but I didn't know how nice she was.
She was nice.
Nice. So she started off as a drummer, and her whole I can't remember what her last name is. I don't remember what the E stood for.
Was
but
it
I want
Easton?
Say it again?
Was it Easton?
No, that's Sheena Easton.
Sheena Easton. Damn.
Another artist. Nah, it's cool. That's a white chick.
That is a white chick.
Sheila E, I think, was Mexican American, if I'm not mistaken.
She was Mexican. That's right.
So it's like a skill. I can't. I'm not even gonna.
And that's why they.
I'm not gonna fuck your name up.
But that's why they probably cut it.
Exactly.
Also to save.
Exactly. Because she was kind of like racially ambiguous or whatever.
Yes, you wouldn't know who or what.
Exactly. All you knew she was fine.
That's all that matters.
Because motherfuckers had big crushes on Sheila E.
That's true.
Don't front like y'all didn't. Yes. So yeah, definitely Sheila E. with the Glamour Life. That was the shit right there.
Okay.
And the shit she was talking in the song.
Oh yeah.
Like, yo,
84 though.
I'm about my paper.
Yeah.
No, she was.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm about this glamorous life.
Exactly. I'm about the fur. I'm about the Benz.
Yeah.
I'm about what you bringing to the table. Definitely.
Hasn't changed till today. Still
Nah.
going on.
Has not. So that brings us to our segment entitled "What You Rockin' With." So we've had this segment before where each of us will just talk about, you know, what we're rocking with for this particular episode, what we're rocking with this particular day, this particular week. So, Leek, I'm gonna let you set it off. What you rocking with?
So I'm gonna bring down the mood just a little bit, but I gotta represent. So real quick, yes, I'm from the Bronx. Spent a majority of my life in the Bronx, but Conway and I also grew up in Yonkers, New York.
YO,
what up?
Home of the brave.
And we lost probably our most iconic person to come out of Yonkers. Not just iconic to Yonkers, but to hip hop and just to music in general.
Big time.
DMX, the dog.
Yeah.
That was rough, man. It was rough. You know, obviously everybody knows, you know, he fought a lot of demons throughout his life.
That he did.
But at the end of the day, he was very inspirational to a lot of people. He
definitely
when
was.
he spoke and when he rapped and when he did his prayers, you felt his spirit. You felt his energy. You knew it was coming from a good
He
place.
talked about God a lot.
Talked
You
about
didn't
God.
realize it though, really, on an album.
No. Oh, he always had that prayer in every album. He always had his prayer.
But it kind of went through with his character. Like people didn't like get on him like, oh, he talks too much about God.
No,
that never came out once when it came to him.
Nobody ever called him preachy.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
they didn't. That's exactly the
Because
point.
you could tell it was genuine.
It was definitely
was.
genuine.
coming from a real place.
Definitely genuine.
I
And
could
can
tell
only
he was
imagine-
struggling with shit.
And I can only imagine listening to Slippin' right now.
yeah, I've been saying I'm gonna listen to that in the car one like on a
One day I'm gonna have to
rainy
do it too.
day,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
going
yeah.
home and just sit there and listen to it. That'll vibe you out. But just rest in peace, man. The ex man Earl Simmons, and you know, he definitely changed music. He was one of the biggest, highest selling hip hop artists ever.
Yeah, man.
Came out with 2 albums in 1 year.
Two multi-platinum.
Two multi-platinum ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And he
man.
changed hip hop
Yeah, man.
because
And-
the style of hip hop he came out with didn't exist.
And I've met him before, and you meet him in person. He was the coolest fucking dude, man. Really, really good guy, man.
Seeing
So-
him in studio was interesting
yeah,
too.
definitely. All that energy that you see,
It was real.
That was real.
It was
him.
real.
That was. Him,
I remember
man.
seeing him up in Vacant Lot a couple times when he was there.
There. So rest in peace to the dog, man. X.
Definitely. So
Yeah,
what I'm rocking with this week, man. So we talked about this particular individual when I mentioned Beverly Hills Cop. So Eddie Murphy, just an icon through the '80s in general. But and this wasn't a movie that came out in the '80s, but because his stardom was cemented in the '80s, I feel like it was only right.
Yeah.
The movie Boomerang. So it was on a couple weeks ago. So I'm watching it, and for those that don't know, Boomerang, he was an ad exec, and he was like a high-powered ad exec, and he worked at this particular ad agency, and he was not just the star of the movie, he was the executive producer of the movie. So he had a lot of obviously power in terms of what happened with the casting.
Correct.
And looking at it through the eyes of 2021, I'm watching the movie and I realized as he walks through his office, not only the janitor, not only the secretary, not only the middle management, not only the execs, not only the boss, not only every single person in that ad agency, black woman or man.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like holy shit. I think that movie came out like in 92.
92.
Somewhere
Came out
around
92.
there. Yeah. His power to say, I want to
In Hollywood.
In Hollywood, exactly.
Facts.
I want to employ our people.
Facts.
Especially at that time.
He doesn't get the recognition he deserves in terms of looking out for. He put on Chris Rock.
I was about to say, how many
his
big name
first movie.
actors or actresses were in
Martin
that?
Lawrence was in that
Keep
movie.
going.
Yeah.
David Allen Greer was in
Keep
that
going.
movie. Robin Givens was in that
Keep
movie.
going.
Grace Jones was in that
Keep
movie.
going.
Tisha Campbell was in that
Keep
movie.
going.
John Witherspoon was in
Keep
that
going.
movie. Halle Berry was in that movie.
Come on.
Yo,
That's a lot of names right there,
man.
guys.
the way look, Abraham Lincoln had this quote about people with power and using that power. You know, it's good to have it, that's cool, but it's what you do with it.
Absolutely.
And what he did with it was empower his people. So shout out Eddie Murphy. That's who I'm rocking with this week.
Yes, sir.
That was big.
Rob, what about you?
So keeping it 80s, man, just because of how it went earlier tonight when we were prepping for today, my honorable mention is Spotify's 80s hits list.
Nice.
Because real talk,
Nice.
that shit got us in the mood today
Nice.
when we was recording.
That's what you're rocking with?
That's what, exactly, because listen, music is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
The movies are a beautiful thing. it takes you back to a time and place. You can honestly listen to songs or watch a movie and remember where you were when you saw it or where you were when you listened to it the first time. So listening to Spotify's 80s hits today took me back 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it doesn't seem like it's 30 years ago. That's the crazy part.
That's the sad part to it. But it really was that long ago.
Yeah.
And they took us back, put us right in a place where it felt like I was a kid again, listening to the movies on the radio. To the songs on the radio.
And that's what got us ready to record. We like, yo, let's do it, yo.
Facts.
And how all those songs took you back to movies that you heard.
Exactly.
Those songs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So big ups to, Spotify playlist. Also, you can catch SNA Live podcast on Spotify as well.
There you go.
So, big ups to Spotify.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. But that's what I'm rocking with on this segment.
Cool. And on that note, it's a wrap for this episode. We appreciate you joining us on this journey. This season, as previously said, you can find us on One Institution Media's platform as we have officially joined the OIM family. You can also still hit us up on our social media pages, including Instagram at SNA Live Podcast for your questions and feedback. And in the words of Shirley Chisholm, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. We out.
Peace.